from the city of Angel. It's Sunday night. The Sunday Evening Spectacular is underway. From tonight's MMT, Kelly Clarkson, Since You've Been Gone in the background. As we're days away from Christmas, A24 got their wish. Let's go. Welcome. I was going to play a Christmas song, but I've always dug this song, so when it shows up in the Housemaid, I was like, okay, let's roll with it. You know how I like to stay current with what you're watching in the multiplex. And this weekend, let me tell you, a lot of you in New York and LA went to see Marty Supreme. And you guys know that we are the gold standard. We've only talked about this every stream. I don't know why I have to remind you at this point. But yet another proof of concept here tonight. I'm going to bring in what we discussed on Thursday, and I put it in tweet form because I figured that's the best way to get a timestamp, and no one can say, well, he went back in and altered that. It's 100% valid. Let me show you here. This is our stream tonight. Timmy and Sydney in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G. You guys like the Christmas decorations tonight? Okay, check it out. This is from Thursday. I was looking around at all of the pre-sales for the New York LA platform launch for A24's Marty Supreme, and I could tell that we were on the verge of something really spectacular. And you can see here, as I say in that very tweet, that we are on the verge of the biggest opening on a platform level that we've seen since something like Parasite. As I remember back 2019, that film went wild in very limited expansion that first weekend. And then you really have had a bunch of films that have not had nearly that success that big on that platform. What's a platform, by the way, guys? I know a lot of you know, so I don't need to tell you. But for those of you who are new to MMT, we talk about this stuff all the time. So let me go ahead and get you up to speed on what that is. That means that a studio releases a film in New York and LA, which are the two biggest cinephilic markets, you know, where all the entertainment folks are primarily gathered. And you're going to end up with a very big PTA, per theater average. And we had that this weekend. Look, let me pull it up. And again, you know, we called this when we said it was going to be huge, $145,000 per location, which is a record that A24 has never had. Okay, so when you look at their long storied history, they have never had something like this come in and do these numbers. Now, here's why this is important. And I'm going to break down exactly what this all means here on MMT, because it's not just about like one theater, okay? It's very important you understand this stuff, because when we discuss it, you guys need to be as educated as possible. It's what we do, okay? Now, listen, there are times when I like to goof off and have a blast and go off, but when I'm trying to educate some of the newcomers here to MMT. We've had a lot lately, and I appreciate that. Really do. You know, we started the stream when the Batman dropped, and we are, in case you have not figured it out yet, we are the Riddler's channel in the Batman. Forever niche. Okay? I'm not calling you all serial killers. I'm just saying you get the idea. That's what we do here. Okay? We are not big mainstream for everybody. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It's what I like to do. But when we look at this $145,000 per location, it's not one theater. It is considered, like, let's look at AMC Burbank, okay? And I'll pull it up so you can see. When you look at all of the screenings in one location. It's all of those added together. Okay, so here in Burbank, let me just go over where this is playing. It won't take that long, okay? If you're getting ready, eyes are glazing over. Listen, you got 70 millimeter. You got a special engagement 70 millimeter, okay? There's at least 4 screenings there. Then you have 4 other Prime, which is PLF. It's got the subwoofers in the seat. That's how I saw this. It was the way to go, okay? As much as I like 70 millimeter, you can't beat sound. Sound is so crucial to film, especially a film that Josh Safdie has dialed in, bringing in Tears for Fears, New Order, Peter Gabriel, and then that OPN score. You want to have great sound, and that's where Prime is. So I would rather have elevated sound than 70 millimeter. That's my call, and I think I made the right call. I will probably see this again in 70mm because it's an option for me, and I've got A-list. But look, you got 5 more regular laser screenings. Then there are 2 other theaters here in Burbank. There's the 16, there's the 8 and the 6, 3 total, okay? Then you have 5 at the 8, and you've got 4 screenings at the 6. So look, you're talking about 20 some odd screenings, and that all combines to get you that $145,000 per theater / location, in this case 3 theaters in 1. So it's a little bit of a fudge, right? Some of you are probably thinking, well, that's only 1 screen. No, it's not, and this is why we're the gold standard. I'm explaining this to you so you understand this stuff, and you don't have to go running off to the fraud Sean Fennessy and have your eyes really glaze over. I don't know why you do that yourself, because you couldn't even do what I just did. That's the beauty of being the gold standard. Not only we write, which we called this back on Thursday, but we also educate and entertain and often go off. Who can compete? Nobody. No competition. So that is where Marty Supreme is. Now, here's the other thing I want to talk about, because these are the big stories, and I'm going to get into tonight's MMTE as we started with Kelly Clarkson tonight. That is The Housemaid with Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried, who is, wow, hella great in this film, okay? That's coming up in a minute. We do need to talk about Avatar: Fire and Ash. This film came in under where a lot of people thought it would. We called this, right? I told you guys that people are done with Avatar. Well, okay, they're just not as excited. They're not as hyped for this anymore. We've done it twice before. The films are a rehash of the one that preceded it. I'm sure Fire and Ash, just like water, only with fire. 3 hours plus. I have not seen it, and I am not going to see it anytime soon, because I stick to my word. When I say these things, right, a lot of people go, well, Fire, I don't want to see, and then they go. Well, not me. I'm not going to see it. I love James Cameron and his values when it comes to cinema and theaters, but I just am not interested. I would rather watch Housemaid. I'd rather watch, Anaconda. I mean, seriously, I really would. I'm going to get more out of that. I've already seen it. I've seen the Viewmaster 3D shit. I'm done with it, okay? But let's talk about this. $88 million on the debut. Fire and Ash, $134 million debut. So we are minus $46-ish million, okay? 34% down versus Way of Water. That's significant, right? Man, if you have a business and your business is down a third, you're going to go, what? What did we do wrong? Well, we know. We called this. People are done with Avatar. At least, like I said, they're just not jonesing for it anymore. And it's understandable. Now, obviously, the overseas helps, but even with the overseas, we're still minus 100 million-ish on the first weekend when you look at Fire and Ash versus Way of Water. So it's going to be very, very interesting to watch how this goes over the next 2 weeks. As you guys know, Christmas Corridor is here, and it is a boon for movie theaters. It is the number one movie-going stanza fortnight of the entire calendar. That is why you have all of these films pushing in, because everyone is off and they're looking for things to do in their free time. You look at a film like SpongeBob, only opened with 16 million. Just watch. It's going to rise really fast because kids have really nothing other than Zootopia 2. Anaconda is probably going to outperform because it is a film that can go for everybody, right? A Jumanji kind of thing. And that will help that one. Housemaid, we're going to talk about in a minute. Another film, 19 million debut. Really want to see that higher, but it has the Christmas quarter to work with. So all of these things are crucial when we talk about the business of Hollywood without any bullshit. That's how we operate. Objective, fearless, the gold standard. Okay, I've been talking for 10 minutes straight. So I need just a short break. It is time for the MMTE of Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried in The Housemaid, a film that I don't hate, but my God, does it get insane at the end to the film's detriment. Here is 30 seconds of tonight's MMTE, The Housemaid.
Would you like a grand tour so you can see what you're getting yourself into? Sure. Honestly, I'm so happy that you're here. You'd be part of the family. What do you know about this family?
I know you shouldn't be here.
I don't know what I'd do without you, Millie.
The Housemaid.
All right, let's do it. Now, listen, I'm not going to spoil the movie. This is not going to be a spoiler review because this is a fun film to watch. There's a lot of twists and turns, and I knew that what you see in the trailer or that 30-second spot is not the entire film, and it's not. There is a number of things that reveal themselves over the course of this 2-hour-plus runtime. Way too long. Okay, no question. More on that in a minute. But I want to talk about Amanda Seyfried for a minute. Hell, she is so good. You know, you talk about a performance that you could throw into a supporting nomination and say, hey, this works. She is perfect in this as this all-over-the-map mom who hires Sydney Sweeney to help out around the house. And then, of course, everything that happens from that point forward. But you really see when you watch The Housemaid, and I recommend you check it out. When you watch this film, you're going to see the difference between a really talented actress, Amanda, and then Sydney Sweeney. Okay? Sydney Sweeney is limited. She just is low wattage. Her best role was that HBO film that was out during COVID because her character is low wattage. She just doesn't have range. She kind of just sits there. I mean, we all know what her assets are, okay? No question. When she strips down in this film, you will be titillated. I mean, there's no other way to put it. But that's not enough. I need more. I need something behind the eyes. And she has to do a narration in this film. And even that just is lacking punch. Sydney Sweeney, I rarely say this about actors or actresses. You need to crank your volume up. It's too low in the mix. We always say these performances, these films are like at a 10 or an 11. I want to bring it down to a 9 or an 8. Sydney Sweeney is like at a 6. And I need her to bring it up to an 8.5. Just a little bit more. But here's the problem, right? In life, you cannot make someone who's not naturally a little bit weird, a little bit energetic. You cannot thrust that upon them and expect them to be that person. We talked back on Thursday about Timothée Chalamet, how off screen he is a bolt of lightning. And when you see Marty Supreme, you finally get a feel of who this dude is because the character is essentially him. And we haven't seen that even in a Wonka, where he should have been that level. And I think that gets down to him being more comfortable working there with Josh Safdie, and all of that just really meshed so well in Marty Supreme. So here, Sydney Sweeney just isn't going to be able to do things that you really want her to do. You know, if you're a director, you're going to say, hey, lean into this. She doesn't have it. Leaning into this for her is a 6.75 instead of a 6.5. She doesn't have the modulation to go from 6.5 to 8.5, right? I mean, figuratively, 9.5, right? Literally, figuratively. But that's not a problem. Like I said, when the undressing occurs, you'll suddenly be, and dare I say, guys, this is the perfect time to break it out. We discuss this all the time on this channel. It's not the first time I've said it in relation to Sydney Sweeney. You will be cinematically erect. I want to make sure you guys understand that none of this is planned. Okay, I literally was playing volleyball all day today down at the beach here in Southern California because it's Christmas, but yet it's still 70 degrees. And then I said, let's do a stream, and I'll talk about the movie I saw last night, Housemaid. I didn't plan any of this. It's just live. You need to appreciate that. You do. Because we're not Jeremy John. Hey, everybody, so this is what's going on with what's going on. Hey, what the who? You know, I just, you know, and then edit. This shit's live at 7:23 on a Sunday night here in Los Angeles. I like that twisty screenplay. We talked about that off the top. You don't want to know much about this other than what I told you, and you can see in the trailers. But I think the trailers do a very nice job of holding back, and that's one thing that Universal has no clue how to do. Saw a trailer last night for a Universal film. It was like the entire film, every time. What are you guys doing over there? Why are you giving me the entire movie, including the twists? This film, you don't get that from Lionsgate, or is it Sony? Whoever this is from. They did a nice job of covering it up. So kudos to said studio. But this screenplay is overwritten. When you get to that third act, you're going to say, why are you doing this crazy shit when it doesn't need to go that far? Now, I know it's based on a novel. I get it. But here's the thing. If I secure the rights, I'm going to talk to the author and say, listen, we're going to pay you a fortune for this because I like the screenplay, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to change the end. And you'll see what I'm talking about when you watch it, because there is some third act insanity that goes too far. So often I see films that are overwritten. Now, this is coming from a novel, but it doesn't matter. It's still overwritten. The project's overwritten. I just want to bring it down. Like I said earlier, we talk about Sweeney going up. What do I say? It's going down. I want the modulation down. And this film is off the charts, bonkers, off the rails. And that is to the film's detriment. Also, because of how long this third act is, the film goes into overtime. You're past 2 hours, and I'm like, I want to get out of here. I enjoyed a lot of this, but at the end of the day, why can't you make this end tighter? Not Sydney's end or Amanda's end. The film's end tighter, okay? The other two don't need any work. This might be the best evaluation in the history of MMT. But unfortunately, the film doesn't. 85%. It's still a B because I didn't hate myself watching the movie. I enjoyed it. I recommend you see The Housemaid. You just will see all of the issues that I just laid out for you. Here's the fix. You've got to tighten this thing. You've got to change that final act. I need to, I really want to spoil it, but I can't. When we go upstairs, I just don't want to have happen what happens. I want to just, why? You don't even explain why you're doing that. So we can talk about this after a few weeks. We can dig into exactly what I'm talking about. I just don't like to give it away because what's the point? If you want to be inundated with synopsis talk, go watch Film Threat. But I'm warning you, if you're not sleepy, not the place for you. Seriously. If you run out of Ambien, you want to go to Film Threat. You will fall asleep within minutes of hitting the play button. So it's your call. If you want to go have the entire film dissected from a screenplay perspective, but not even dissected, just read to you like a Wikipedia entry, then go watch the snooze fest that is Film Threat. That's not what we do here. We're the gold standard. They are what's less than bronze, the tin standard. That is what Film Threat is, the tin standard. Thank you very much. All right, we'll get to as many comments as possible here. I'll hit as many as I can before I go into a trailer watch. I want to watch the Spielberg UFO thing. I've not seen it yet, so I am excited to see what the hell that's all about. I want a little bit of love for everything that I think that might be the best evaluation ever. Again, live. This is not planned. I didn't have any of this. Except for, obviously I know at some point I'm going to throw out cinematically erect because that's what we do. But listen, honestly, forget just the fact that the images. When I say you're cinematically erect, you understand what I'm talking about. Like, I don't need to explain that further. You are fully engorged with the film. Speaking of low wattage, can you imagine watching like Sean Fennessy talk like this? No, because they're so boring. They're chin-stroking nerds that really don't speak to anybody. They're so overrated. The Ringer is what a laughable publication, if it even is the publication. This channel drags them to hell and back every single time I go live. I don't need a teleprompter. I don't need to go slow as hell like they are. Literally like reading shit. I am just shooting. I'm firing on all cylinders all the time, unless I'm really tired, which I am tired. And look, I'm still firing on all cylinders. You should be excited about this, Jacob, because Marty Supreme comes out on Christmas. And let's talk just a little bit about that because we just broke down Housemaid. We talked about Avatar. Back to Marty Supreme, which is coming to you on Christmas Day. Now, first of all, A24 absolutely nailed this release because when you platform a film, you get great PR, and even better than they could ever imagine with this film, although we called it back on Thursday, biggest PTA we've seen since 2016 and the biggest A24 ever. Okay, so now you roll into Christmas Day with people that are even more excited to see this film. Also, as I watched football this weekend, college and pro, there are Marty Supreme spots running everywhere. That means the awareness should be off the charts. So you couple, right, the great PR, the ads, you've got the blimp, you got Chalamet out there pushing hard. All of this is going to work to put in a number coming in over the Christmas quarter that's going to be very impressive. Now, here's the thing. Admittedly, this film is $90 million, okay? You're saying to yourself, how does it cost that much? I can tell you one of the reasons this film is expensive, because there is so much CGI involved with the ping pong balls. How come no one's even talked about that? In the film, you've got the ping pong balls going back and forth. Chalamet, I'm sure, learned how to play ping pong, and I'm sure some of the shots are him, but there's a lot of stuff that no question is CGI because there's no way to recreate that short of the best ping pong player in the world, and it's clearly Chalamet, and whoever the actor is, I assume it's a ping pong guy. But the point is you still have to use some CGI Marty Supreme orange ball right there from AMC Burbank. When you look at that CGI, right? Bang, bang, bang. That is money, 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 money. If that's a CGI shot, money, 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 right? Anytime you use CGI in a movie, the longer it's on the screen, the more money you're spending, okay? That's why you look at some of these cheap films. Like we're going to watch Greenland 2 tonight. That's going to be fun because that's going to tie into MMT Gets Freaky. That is our late night after hours version of this where we talk about how the world is not what you think it is. Okay, I know that this is, again, the Riddler's channel from the Batman. You're like, what's happening? I don't understand. Just know that I know this much. Going forward, AI is taking a lot of jobs. We're very certain of that. But here's one thing I know. AI could never do this show. They wouldn't have a clue. Right? The AI people. They wouldn't have a clue because even I don't know what we're going to do next. That's the beauty. And when you're totally live, unfiltered, and unflinching, AI cannot replicate that. So I don't have to worry about AI coming for my job. But when you watch Greenland and you see like a really quick shot of CGI, it's because the longer it's on the screen, the more it costs. It's kind of like being in a cab. For those of you who have been in a cab, let me explain. You get in the back, and there's a meter. And every so many minutes, it goes up and or how far you go, right? So it's going up both by time and distance. And you're watching it. It goes up, 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 up. That is a CGI shot. How long's it on, and how much is on the screen that's CGI? There's your cash. So that's what I figured out. By the way, you know what? Here's the thing, right? So you're getting the gold standard. You're talking about business. We're talking about now. Why did this film cost $90 million? Because of that. You can't get this from a TikToker. You can't get it from Instagram. You can't get it from anyone else on YouTube. Certainly not Film Threat, because you'll be asleep. I mean, serious to God. You will be out. I mean, you might as well be taking a 50 milligram dose of melatonin when you watch Film Threat, because you will be asleep. Like, right? You're supposed to take 5 or 10. It is a 50 milligram shot of melatonin. That is what Film Threat's tagline should be. Okay? I love how I had no idea that I was going to drag Film Threat multiple times during the stream. But it's fair. It's in the moment, and I feel like doing it. You can't stop me. You love Jacob. You love who? She's gorgeous. Listen. Sydney Sweeney's hot. Obviously, we've talked about that. There's no question about that. So, you know, I don't even want to talk about the jeans thing. Good, just stop, okay? So here's the thing. To the average dude, Sydney Sweeney is going to be hot to most people. It's just the reality of it. There's no debate. We don't even have a debate. There's no debate, okay? I'm not going to have debates about stuff that is very clear. We're going to talk about DEI here in a little bit, because there's a big story that went out this week. How in the 2014, right around that time, DEI was like forced upon every institution. And we talk about DEI all the time. And this is what you're getting from me. You don't get from anyone else. First of all, I am objective. I am as Switzerland-y as I can be, because I think I like Switzerland-esque. But either way, right, I want to be able to move to where I believe the truth is. And I've told you from day one, in this, you're not going to get this from Fantasy. You're not going to get this from anybody, not from 3 Strands of Hair Rap Guy. You're not going to get any of that, because they are so left-wing. They are all about DEI. They can't say this isn't a good thing. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, because it's a great article, okay? That's what we do better than anybody else. We're able to review. We're able to discuss business, talk about DEI, talk about aliens, and living in the village. Do you understand? Why do I have to even worry about AI? Johnny, I mean 100%. This is true. This is 100% true. Even some gay guys would think she's hot. She is attractive. I'm not saying she's like drop dead, the hottest woman on the planet. What I'm trying to say is, right, I talk about the world kind of like this. A lot of things I just look at a pie, okay? Of the pie, don't go there. Do not go Revenge of the Nerds on me. Don't do that. Talking about a pie chart. When you have a pie chart, you say, what percentage of the pie chart would think that Sydney Sweeney's hot? It's close. I mean, Johnny, okay, let's go 99. I don't know. Maybe there's 1%. But, right, it's a big chunk. When you start talking about someone, and I've talked about this before, when I watched Honora, I'm like, what? It's not even hot. No. Mikey, no, dude, no. Just no. Mikey, not even. Like, Sydney Sweeney and Mikey, put them in a ring, 95% of the people are going to pick Sydney Sweeney. Like, I'm not saying that Mikey's unattractive. I'm just saying, no, it's not a contest, okay? I'm just saying overall. She's got this kind of thing, but I wouldn't even, again, when I watch, dude, Honora sucks. Can I say that again tonight? Honora's awful. You know, the fact that it won 5 Oscars, I hope that Marty Supreme wins 10, because it deserves 10 if that's what wins 5. So what are we doing? Don't even get me started about Honora. I'm not going to scream. I'm not going to yell. I'm just going to tell you. Right? I know we're way off. Listen, John, I'm not saying Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic aren't good at dissecting that. My problem is with both those guys, and I'll say it to their faces, is that they're very incapable of getting back to even an objective level, because their audience demands that they savage anything that is, quote, woke. Here's the deal. I will take down something that's woke because it's not organic. It doesn't work. We've talked about that all the time. So it's not like I'm not willing to go there. My problem is when you're filtering everything through the lens of one thing every time. That's the issue. I want to break the lens and start over. I want to rebuild. I want to break, rebuild. That's how I want to do it. I want to literally go back to zero every time. Whenever I walk into a movie, I'm at zero, okay? And then we go up or down from zero. I'm not going in at 90% no because it's woke. I'm going in at zero, and then I'm going to start evaluating if it works or it doesn't. Not often do I complain about woke or non-woke, okay? But I've always said it's really this simple. If it's not organic, if it feels inauthentic, if it feels forced, then it's an issue. And no question that happens a lot out of Hollywood. I'm not going to debate that. But does it actively wreck your film because of that pick? That's the thing, right? If it does, then yes. But if it's something that we can just kind of go, okay, I get what you're doing, but let's just get back to, does the film work? Instead of making it like the whole entire evaluation about one casting decision. Do you guys understand? Luis, Marty Supreme, One Battle, Hamnet. Listen, you can have predictions. Hamnet is one of the most boring films of the year. It is grief porn, Oscar bait shit. Not a great film. Really overrated. Hellaciously overrated. It's Chloe Zhao's worst film. Without a question, okay? You might not like Nomadland. Nomadland's way better than Hamnet. And the writer, for me, would be my pick. We're not throwing Eternals in there. That doesn't count. God knows whatever that was. But you look at One Battle versus Marty Supreme. Let's talk about that for a minute because I think this is a good one. You look at Marty Supreme is the better film across the board. I think the performances are better. Okay, first of all, Leo's not better than Timothy because Leo's not even the best he's ever been. I would argue that's one of his weakest performances. It's goofball, right? Oh, I don't have the number. Oh, I don't have. Oh man, can I give you the password? Oh, it's cartoonish, and that isn't where I want to see him. Now, I understand that's the script's problem. But again, that's not even a top Leo performance. So if he can't, no way. You do not even consider Leo DiCaprio when you're staring at Timothée Chalamet, a career best performance in a role he was born to play. We talk about Tar all the time. The fact that the Academy did not give Cate Blanchett the Oscar for Tar, and it went to Michelle Yeoh, is one of the biggest frauds in the history of the Oscars. We've had some horrible picks lately. You wonder why I don't care about awards as much. Because we are picking films like Anora and Everything Everywhere as sweep-worthy. Unbelievable. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to be in a critics group that thinks One Battle is the best film of the year. Are you fucking kidding me? The fact that we have so many people... I'm not going to yell. I'm going to chill. I'm going to chill, and I'm going to watch the trailer. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to tell you this, that we in the film space are surrounded by some of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. And the fact that I have to even read an opinion of someone who clearly has zero taste and zero knowledge of what actually works on the big screen, but yet I'm being told that these people are the elite film people, it is nauseating, to put it as nicely as I can. But that's the world we live in. And the fact that anybody can call themselves a critic with no proof, just walk right in and say, Hamnet's the greatest movie ever made. Because we live in a society of frauds who get away with being frauds because none of you call these people on their shit. I mean, can you imagine being Matthew Bellany, okay? Let's talk about him who runs Puck. You know what he said was the movie of the year? He said Zootopia 2 is the... If I said Zootopia 2 was the movie of the year, and before I mention all the reasons why, Zootopia 2 is not even remotely as good as 1. What are you talking about? If I came on the stream and said Zootopia 2 is the film of the year, do you know how many people would drag me? I would be, oh my God, all over the place. X, all the comments here, YouTube. If you're watching on X, go to YouTube, Midnight Movie Talk. You can comment there. When you look, you'd be all over me. But yet Matthew Bellany, oh, look at this, the patron saint of journalism in Hollywood. This guy held up, right? Oh, look at the esteemed Matthew Bellany. Let me give you a hint. You call Zootopia 2 the film of the year, you're a fucking fraud, and it's over. It's done. Like, it's over. I always go back to Drive, right? When Shannon gets his wrist slit, and what's he say? What does Albert Brooks say? It's done. It's done. Don't struggle. It's done. It's done. When you say Zootopia 2 is the film of the year, this guy, well, works for The Ringer. Again, The Ringer's like, what? Can you guys help me with a publication that's worse than The Ringer? Don't say The Atlantic, because that's close. They're right there. Atlantic full of left-wing loons, right? Listen, I'm not right or left, but I don't want my people all the way on the left. Remember Atlantic during COVID? Well, if you go out of your house and you don't wear a mask, you're going to kill everybody. They were part of that fear porn. So fuck you, Atlantic. Seriously, fuck yourselves. You work for the Atlantic, you're a piece of shit human being. Just straight up. Shitty. You're a shitty person. Just know that when you go to bed. You're a shitty person. I know this about myself. I am going to be super animated. I'm going to be super opinionated, but you know what I am? A force of light. It sounds like at times I'm being dark because we need these things to be said, because we need to make things back to the right way to do things. And so often in society these days, we don't have that. Let's go ahead and seg into DEI, and then I'm going to watch a trailer because I'm now in that mood. There's no reason to get out of this. Let's talk about this article that posted here called The Lost Generation. Okay, it's huge. It's got like 35 million impressions on Twitter/X. Okay, it is, I believe, on Compact Mag. Here it is right here, right? The Lost Generation by Jacob Savage. Now, I rolled down, and this is where it's really important to know how key this DEI garbage is towards what we're talking about here tonight. Okay? You talk about the difference between the construct of a writing room, the makeup of a writing room now versus back when he wrote this article in 2014 or so, when they decided that we have to start to diversify all of these writing rooms and all of these studios because we just have to. Okay, listen to me. I am not against diversity. What I am against is hiring anyone because of the color of their skin, their sex, sexual orientation. None of that plays into it. Not one iota. If the best person is white, they're hired. If the best person is black, they're hired. You're going to say, how do you decide who's best? I can tell you who's best. I'm really good at that. So why we're the number one evaluating out there, nobody's better, the gold standard. But the fact that we have to hire someone who is of a certain genetic makeup is garbage. It is a garbage policy. It only makes every institution that employs it weaker, because you're now bringing people in that don't have the goods. Not as much as the person who should have been hired. It has to make sense to you that when we're talking about selecting the best person for any job, all that matters is competency. How talented is this person? Are they a good fit? Of course, that's part of it. But are they a good fit because the color of their skin? That is not part of it. But you look here. In 2011, the writer here moved to LA. White men were 48% of lower-level TV writers. By 2024, they accounted for just 11.9%. 48 to 12%. That doesn't happen organically. That is forced. When we talk about anti-woke and I talk about things being forced, this was absolutely railroaded in, ramrodded in. And when you do that, you are cheapening your product because you're not getting the best overall job done from your staff because you're checking boxes. I have never walked into any evaluation and said, bonus points, female director, bonus points, black director, bonus points, white director. Can you imagine? What the hell are we talking about? Even the housemaid. I told you, Sydney Sweeney's got a banging body, but didn't move the meter at all. At times, cinematically erect. But, you know, I got to keep you honest. You don't do that. But guess who does do that? The Sean Fennessy of the world. The Ringers of the world. The Atlantic of the world. These people are not to be trusted because they have an agenda. I don't have an agenda. You know what my agenda is? Make the best film you can. It happened at Harvard. White men fell from 39% of tenure track positions to 18% in 2023. I mean, crazy. Cut in half. More than that. Because it was all about, we're going to institutionalize this DEI into every possible thing we can. Wherever it came from, it is an absolutely refuse-worthy policy. And I will never take part in it. Never. If I was ever in a room where they said, listen, we want to hire this person, but we can't because we have to do some kind of thing. We have to check a box. I'm going to be like, okay, listen, I don't know what you just said, but we're not doing this shit. I told you guys, first thing I'd do as a studio, if someone came in and said that to me, I'd say, okay, hold on. I don't ever want you to say that again. It's never going to come up. We're going to hire the best person. Now, don't ever bring that up to me again. Do you understand me? Because I will fire you. I don't care what you look like. You're fired. Because I'm not having that discussion. Because we don't, as it says here, the world is not rooting for you. In fact, it's deliberately rooting against you. Again, go back to evaluation when I walk into a film. Can you imagine if I went in, even though I've said many times, I am not looking forward to see Mickey 17. Turns out it's garbage. There you go. But look, how many times have I said a movie that I was like not looking forward to? And then I came out and said it's good. The facts are the facts. It's not about my agenda going in. I have to be able to get back to zero. And I'm not rooting against any film. But if I were, and I was dishonest, and I was corrupt, because this is a form of corruption, because you're corrupt. You're not doing the right thing morally. Morally, you're not. You're screwing someone over because you're checking a box. There's no defense for this, guys. There's none. There's not even an argument. I don't want to hear if you grew up in the projects. I don't want to hear if you grew up in the middle of nowhere, West Virginia, with not a dollar to your name. At the end of the day, I'm hiring the best person. I don't care if you grew up in the gigantic mansion and your parents are loaded. Are you the best person? Are you good? Do you write well? Is this what we're looking for? Doesn't matter. Your socioeconomic background means nothing in the search. Zero. You don't get a leg up in life. You think I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth? Do you really think that? No. Middle class Ohio. We weren't rich. We weren't poor. But I didn't value anyone higher or lower based on where they lived. Never have. When I lived down in Newport Beach, did not like it down there. It's how everyone values each other. What job do you have? How much money do you make? What car do you drive? No. Hollywood can be like that. But I gotta be honest, Burbank's not like that. Burbank's very chill. Very Midwestern. Very Ohio-esque. That's why I'm here. At least for now. But you have to just say everyone's equal. I'd be a great judge. I don't care who the person was, where they grew up, what they look like. Here's the law. You broke the law. You're going to jail. I don't want to hear your sob story about how you grew up with it. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. I don't give a shit. My life hasn't been easy. I told you guys back in 2015 when I went through that hellacious period of my life. I was like down. Didn't even know if I'd ever get back up. Completely depressed. Absolute mess. And I slowly built myself back up from that point. And once you hit rock bottom, I'll give you guys a hint. You are indestructible. People wonder, how does this guy do this? How does he not give a shit? Because I was at rock bottom. Where are you going to take me beyond that? You have to not give a shit. Or at least pretend if you've never been to rock bottom. Because trust me, being at the bottom at the nadir, nothing scares you. These people don't understand this. These other people in the space that all talk stuff. I'm not a talker. I'm the real fucking deal. Because everything in my life I've earned. Every single thing. Do you think I want to go to the gym tomorrow? Really? Or do you think I want to sit in bed all day? What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to bust my ass. I'm in the best shape, quite literally the best shape of virtually anybody my age. Because I work. I don't expect to be handed to me. I don't want a job handed to me because I'm a white guy. Why would you want a job handed to you because you're a black guy? But it's no sense. You want to be hired by the best. They see you as the best person out of all of these. Not, oh, we wanted you because we needed to have more representation in our room. I'd say I'm out of here. If I caught wind of that, I got hired somewhere and they're like, first of all, I'm not going to get hired because I'm an older white guy. I'm not going to do that. I don't care. Don't want to. I don't want to work for a studio because I would quit on day one. I'd go in and listen to some of these people talk. You guys are the dumbest motherfuckers ever. You're going to do this? You're going to make this movie? You're going to spend how much on this? Go back to Indiana Jones' Dial Disaster. If I was involved in that whole situation, so you're going to do what? You're going to bring in Phoebe and do what? What? No. And how much? 300 million? No. I'm not going to be part of this. I'm out of here. You just started. Too bad. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I'm going home. I'm not going to do this. I 100% would. Because I know what's right and wrong. I know what works and what doesn't. I've proven that. Guys, how many more things I have to bring up when I talk about gold standard? How many more examples do you need to be presented with before you go? I mean, you guys know. The people who know. Even the people that don't pretend that they don't, they know. They all are aware. The reason the film people in the space are anti-Weber is because they know I'm everything they'll never be. Ever. For the remainder of time. They will never have a shred of what I bring to the mic every time I step up. They don't have it. They couldn't do this show. It would be a disaster if they tried to do this show. You would watch and go, that's it, I'm out of here. I'm not watching this shit again. I mean, listen, before I went on tonight on X, I was looking on the live, right? On the right side of X, right now you can probably see me. I'm sure it's there. I'm not looking. I'm still looking at this article. You can see who's live. It's pink, right? So we're live right now on X and YouTube. YouTube is Midnight Movie Talk. Go subscribe. I would appreciate that. Here's the thing, is that if they tried to do this live on X, on YouTube, the way I'm doing it, they could never, and let me make sure that's very clear, never do what I do. It's not possible for them, and they know it, and that pisses them off. Because instead of saying, this guy's good, this guy brings it, this guy is the real deal, I'm going to say, oh, he doesn't make me feel good because I don't have those talents. Well, too fucking bad. Figure out your talents and go out and get there. Do it in your life, whatever that is. Do not hate someone because they are good at what they do. But the film space is full of weird people, okay? 100%. One of the reasons I'm better than virtually everybody in the space, I'm normal. I have a normal life. I just played volleyball all day with my boys down at the beach because that's what I do. I don't sit around and watch movies all day. I don't have 50 pounds of fat on my waist. If you do, listen, it's all good, but you need to hit the gym, man. You really do. You got to go. You got to watch what you eat. You got to put in the work. You're going to feel better. It's all going to work in tandem, and all of a sudden you're going to be out conquering the universe. Right? These other people don't put in the work. In life, you put in the work. You don't get handed something because of the way you look. Oh, says the white guy. I've never handed anything in my life because I'm white. Not one thing. When I was in TV news, they hired me because I was good. I told you guys that story. When I worked at Fox local stations, not Fox News, Fox local stations, the head of the Fox station group talent came in and told the entire group of sales, this Eric Weber dude's really good. Like, we haven't seen anything like this. I know that. You don't think I know that shit? Of course I know that stuff. If you're good at something, you know that. It's okay to be proud of what you bring to the table. Because I can tell you right now, no one could do what I'm doing. Not one person. No one. I don't care who you say. No one. Because everyone's individual. We all have different talents. And this is what I was really built to do. Is just be absolutely unthrottled. The more unthrottled, the better. And maybe that's not your thing. I mean, we just talked about Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney definitely cannot get unthrottled. I mean, you might want to unthrottle to her, but but she can't get unthrottled. She's stuck at a 6.5 as far as energy. She's muted. Low wattage, as we said. And, guess who wouldn't say that? Oh, guess who wouldn't say that, by the way? Ooh, Film Threat. Nerdrotic. Critical Drinker. Because they know their base is right-wing largely. So if you make fun of Sydney Sweeney, oh, watch out. We can't be doing that. When you can just say, hey, listen, she's cute. I see what the appeal is, but she's not really that talented. Okay, she's marginal. She's not going to be a game changer unless you're asking for a low wattage role like that HBO film. Here, she isn't the right person. She was in jail. Back to Housemaid quickly. She was in jail. She's living out of her car. First of all, can I ask you guys a question? I forgot to mention this. If Sydney Sweeney's living out of her car, do you believe that? We talked about how most dudes would think Sydney Sweeney's hot. Don't you think she could find some dude to shack with for a while instead of living out of her car? What do you guys think? Would you, if Sydney Sweeney was living out of her car, would you be able to offer her a place at your joint? I know I would. I'm just telling you I would. Single guy, I've got room. Not a lot. I don't live in like a giant palatial estate, but I would have room for Sydney Sweeney if she was homeless. I would have her here. I would let her stay. Okay? Separate beds. Come on, guys. Give me a break. But I would be generous out of the kindness of my heart here at Christmas time, especially, homeless Sydney Sweeney, you have a place. You can sleep. In fact, I'll even give you my bed. I'll sleep in a sleeping bag on the floor until I get another bed. See, this is what being a man is all about. Giving. Now you guys really have to see Housemaid because you're what? She's homeless? She's homeless. All right. Let's watch a trailer. That was man, let me tell you. It's 50 minutes. I'm like, what happened? What happened to our time? This is what happens when I just start talking. I've been talking for 50 minutes straight. Watch what? A 30-second break for that Housemaid intro? That's all I got. Okay, let's watch. We got 2 trailers back to back. This is going to dovetail perfectly, right? We're going to go from the Spielberg UFO movie to Greenland, and then I'm going to tell you that Greenland is actually a documentary. Just stay here. Just trust me. I know what I'm talking about, and you will too when we get to Greenland in a second. But let's start with the Disclosure Day. I have not seen this, okay? It played in front of Marty Supreme, but I did not pay attention to it because I knew that I wanted to watch it for the first time tonight, and that's why I held it, and I'm ready to go right now. By the way, that was all a stall because I was watching an ad on YouTube. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to have the ability to bullshit so that when you come up against a situation where you're waiting for something, you are still talking. So the viewers don't go, what's going on? It's dead air. No dead air here at MMT because we're pros. We're the gold standard. One more time for everybody, just in case you just joined us. We are the gold standard. Here comes Disclosure Day. Trailer reacts here live. I've not seen this. I'll stop it as I see fit. Here we go. Disclosure Day from Steven Spielberg.
If you found out we weren't alone, if someone showed you, proved it to you, would that frighten you?
Good morning, Kansas City.
Oh, this is great. She's a weather person. This was my old life, okay? Just FYI, this is exactly what a local TV station looks like. The only thing is there's way too many people in the background. Local TV now is like 2 people, so this is overcast. That's the first thing, not overcast in the skies. Too many people on the floor of the studio set.
Let's take a look at today.
Way too many people. For a local station? What the hell are all those people doing there? What's going on? Is this like the corporate meeting? This isn't good. I'm just telling you. Look, see, this is what I bring to the table. If Spielberg had me here shooting this film, like, there's too many people on the floor. Get rid of half those people. No, actually, get rid of 3/4. It's like dead. There's like one camera guy. It's all robotic now. God, I'm good. God, I'm good.
Let's. Today's.
That looks like a normal control room. Because so she's talking as an alien. Oh, okay. First of all, this movie's totally bullshit because no one is watching the local weather on their phone. No, it's got to be a period piece because it's a flip phone. But maybe back then, nobody watches local news anymore. It's dead. It's 100% dead. Compared to when I did it, dead. Like the ratings are like minuscule because everyone's on Twitter. Everyone gets their news from anything that's faster. Local news used to be the only way, right? Send a satellite truck and we're live on the scene. Now you just pull out your phone and you go live on YouTube, X, whatever you have. Instagram, live. That's local news. Used to do that. Not anymore. It doesn't matter. Still too many people working at the station. Good Lord. Way too many people. Again, what? Oh, really? All those people are going to show up outside the local news station? It's just right. You got to watch it as a filmmaker. Just do your best to stay grounded and not get out of control. Like Spielberg's like, let's have 1 billion people with their lights out. It's too much. Just have like maybe 15 people, not 50. Everything's too much already. It's extra.
Know the truth.
Not the show Extra, which I don't think's on anymore, is it? Mario Lopez?
It belongs to 7 billion people.
Josh O'Connor's in every movie now. I like him, but he's now in every other film. He's the new Pedro Pascal.
What is it?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. So I'm going to show you.
This is like me on MMT Gets Freaky. I feel like he's playing a version of me. We're going to talk about that. It's coming. Get ready.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world. All at once.
Okay, so he's going to tell everyone there's aliens? What's going on? So aliens take over humans, so it's invasion of the body snatchers. Signs.
People keep wondering. Encountering the unknown.
They're coming! They're coming!
Some good cinematography. Is that the local station? No. Good Lord. That's got to be like Mission Control. Government's like Mission Control Center.
They are starved for the truth.
You know, can we just talk for a second? I've had a little bit too much of Coleman Domingo. He acts so much, right? Look. Just watch this right here. Coleman Domingo needs to chill. He's so like extra. It's true, right? You know what I'm saying? He's throttled up. I want him from a 10 to an 8. Look, watch him here. Watch how he delivers this line.
Starved for the truth.
Yeah, you know, it's just like, dude, just say they're starved for the truth. Like, what are you doing? It's too much. Every time I see Coleman Domingo now, he's out of control. Someone needs to tell him to dial it back. And I know that's not like him going, someone needs to, but it's still too much. It's modulation, man. He's at 9. I want him at a 7.5. Make it more natural. That's so key. As an actor, especially in a film, just make it really small choice. Small. He's making too big a choice almost always.
Do you think there could be others? Why would he make such a vast universe? Yet save it only for...
You know, what's going on? What are we doing with a deer and different animals heading to the house?
us.
I mean, listen, I trust in Spielberg enough. I do not trust in the Fabelman Spielberg. It's just one of his worst films. And guys, did you see Fabelman's? Oh my God, laughably bad. I remember seeing that here at Universal before it opened, and I called it. Go back and look at the stream. I hammered that film. And did I tell you the story? Just so you know, why we're the gold standard. Again, to remind you, when I saw Fabelman's, I said, this is a bad film. Everyone's saying it's good. This is not good. This is the film that Spielberg was born to make. Well, of course, it's his life story. They're all talking about that final scene with Ford. Dude, one scene does not make a movie. Babylon, 2 scenes do not make a movie. Fabelman's across the board is one of his worst films, and here's how I know that I am right. And guys, I don't need to know, I know, but just to know when I get feedback. Producer friend of mine texted me and said, I was watching your stream. You said Fabelman's is bad. I want you to know that the execs at Universal know that. I'm like, why? Right? But that's the thing. Like, do you understand how frustrating that gets for me? That I'm always directly over the target, drilling shit, like just dropping bombs after bomb. And yet, I haven't got a call. No one's calling me, say, hey, come in here and evaluate these films, because I would destroy that job. Instead, you got 50 people getting $5 Amazon gift cards that have no clue what they're talking about. Bring me in one. Remember the story one more time. Those of you just joining us. When I was walking out of AIM 16 a few weeks ago, I walk out, I'm with Menzel. Menzel can corroborate the story. The guy's there running the test screening. He looks over and he goes, oh my gosh. He goes, I watch. I go, hey man, appreciate that. I go, can we come in to watch the test screening? It was test screening. He was getting the crowd ready. He goes, oh man, I'd love to let you in. I think you do really good, but the execs won't let you. They'll kick you out. I'm like, why? Why are they going to kick me out? Because I'm going to say like mean things? Do you want me to say mean things now or when it comes out? Do you understand? I can help some of these films. I can't fix everything. Like, I could never fix Anora. There's no chance. I would just be like, you're fucked. But look, it wins Oscars. That's the world we live in. Clown world, upside down, bizarre world. Okay. But there's films that you watch and you're like, okay, here's what I do. I mean, Housemaid. First of all, tighten the shit out of that. Get rid of this scene, tighten it up. It's got to go under 2 hours. It's 2:10. It's got to be under 2. Even if you don't change the ending, which I know that's hard to do. I get it. If you've already shot an ending and it's what it is, to go back in and redo that's going to be very difficult. But I would definitely say let's bring it in. So often these days, these directors do not have any ability to self-edit. It happens in every film I watch, and I'm tired of it. Disclosure Day, let's hope it's a better Spielberg film than Fabelman's. Now, listen, I am with 100% Tarantino when he talks about West Side Story being a really great piece of filmmaking. I talked about that. I don't think I had a stream at that point, but go back and look. I have the receipts on Twitter/X. That is a film, edit-wise, cinematography and edits, right? That combination is just, God, that film is symphonically put together. The assembly of that film is really strong. I don't think I like the emotion of it. Zegler, whatever, take her or leave her, right? But here's the thing. When you look at the filmmaking, that is very good Spielberg. Fabelman's, hell no. So I'm glad. Listen, it's always nice to know that there are executives out there who, first of all, watch. I know that 100%. I'm fully aware. Okay, producers. I have actors. I have a lot of people who watch this channel. Now, here's the deal. We're going to always be the Riddler channel from the Batman, because a lot of the stuff I talk about, like me being anti-DEI, that makes, wait a second, I don't know what to do with that. We like the guy, but too bad, I don't care. I'm not going to fit into what you want me to. I'm never going to do that. I'm not going to distill myself so that I cannot enrage some of you. I'm not going to do it. My job is to be as objective and opinionated and dead on as possible. And sometimes it's not going to work for you. Fine, don't care. But I'd rather do what I do than do milquetoast Chris Stuckman shit, who can't even make a good film. I can tell you this. If I made a film, it'd be a shit ton better than that shit that he just gave us. My God. I'd be embarrassed to put that film out. Honestly, I really would. I would. I talked about that before. If Anora were my screenplay, I'd be embarrassed to have written that. 100%. I'm not just saying. I'd say that. If I wrote Marty Supreme, I'd be like, hey, this is pretty fucking good. There's a few things I'd change, but I really like this. I'd be proud of it. Like, you have to know. But I think some of these people are so delusional, they don't know. I know what my strengths and weaknesses are. So my weaknesses are I talk smack a lot. Like, too much. I don't need to. Well, listen, man, it's live. Sometimes it's just going to happen. I can't control I can control, but I don't want to. Does that make sense? Because I feel like the strength of this show is just me riffing and being organic and not rethinking and re-editing stuff, because that doesn't interest me. All right, I got 2 trailers. I'm going to watch Hokum, and then we're going to watch Greenland, and then here's what we're going to do. We're going to pivot off of Greenland for just a little bit. I'll tell you why Greenland's so important. And you're just trust me, I'm right, like always. Here's Hokum. Someone want to watch. It's 51 seconds. Here it is, Hokum. God, Neon's going to milk that long legs forever. They just really are, right? Producer of Weapons. By the way, I think this is Roy Lee. Roy watches our stream. So, Roy, I'm not making fun. You're very talented. You've made a lot of money with these films. Not a fan of Weapons, and Long Legs falls apart on the back end with that supernatural twist. Not good.
Fado. Long ago, deep in the woods, there lived an alpayak.
God, hold on. We got another stepping over the line. How many times have we seen this lately, right? Stepping over the line. We just saw it in Bring Her Back, which is the best horror film of 2025. No question, no contest. This whole crossing a line and then now the spirit can get out. Like, we need to stop. What was the one we just saw? Another horror film, Crossing the Line.
A witch.
I mean, listen, it's a great trailer again because it's short, it's really cryptic, and if you're going to make a trailer, you need to make it more like a Hokum or certainly that first Long Legs where you just show just snippets, right? And get people interested versus Universal, like I spoke to earlier, where they're like, here's the whole movie. What? Why did you show me the whole movie? Like, again, Housemaid, the trailers do a nice job of covering up and keeping the mystery intact. And Hokum here doesn't show you a whole lot except that. Who directed this? Do we know? Does it say after this? Hold on a second. Let me see. But it's from Neon. We know that. Check-in's May, so we got a while to wait for this. I'm not sure who directed. Someone tell me the thing. I have no idea who directed Hokum. Sometimes I honestly don't even want to know. I've told you guys this because here's the deal. If I know, then maybe I'll go in with a little bit of a bias because I'm like, oh, I like their last film. But truth be told, nobody's better at getting back to zero than me. What does that mean? To get back to zero. I'm not going to start a review at 50 because I like somebody, 50 and up, right? A lot. Or if I'm anti-woke and the movie's woke, you're already at 75 down or 25 down, right? You see what I'm trying to say? I go from 0 to 100. So if you're anti-woke, the film is already at like 25% or lower because you already are going to hammer it. I don't ever know that. My scale's at 0. I have no idea what the end number's going to be because I have to see the film. So there's no, how can I know without seeing it? I don't know. I've written entire things like when I come in here and I get the show produced before I go to a movie, I have a live reaction right afterwards. I try to get on as fast as possible. I write some of the stuff I think I might have, and I've had to go back in and switch things and go instead of thumbs up, thumbs down, screenplay down instead of up, cinematography up when I wasn't expecting it, score down. You know, from someone like Ludwig Göransson in Sinners, not a good score. I don't care what you tell me. Sinners is not a good film. It's one of the worst films of the year. I would put Sinners in. It's going to be our number 10 worst film of the year. It will not be. It's not in the best because why? Oh, that's right. Yeah, go back to what we talked about a little while ago with the writing rooms. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to value a movie higher or lower because of the racial makeup of the cast or the director. It's never going to happen. Why would I do that? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Why would you even mention that? I like Ryan Coogler because he's a good director. You go back and you look at Fruitvale Station. You know, I was blown away by that film. Really strong. And this kid at that time has talent. And even the first Black Panther at times, I mean, I think that's overrated. Second one's not a good film. I mean, he had a tough card to play there because obviously with Chadwick dying. But, you know, I just am never going to do that. So... And I'll tell you first, why would you do that? But there's a lot of critics who would say, yeah, that's the first thing. Remember I told you about that one writer for the AP who was writing a movie directed by a woman, writing a review and said, you know, the fact that this is a woman right there is enough to praise it. Literally said that in the article. What? No, what are you talking about? These are the people that you're listening to. You shouldn't because they're completely unreliable. And, you know, I talked about this the other day. You got the right wing, you got the left wing. I do hammer the left more because I think the left is more fucking deranged. I really do. I do. I'm not saying at everything, but a lot. There's a lot of derangement going on. Listen, talk about derangement. Trump deranged that reaction to Reiner. What are you doing, dude? Even if you hate somebody, you don't say what he said. That was the dumbest shit I ever heard. Trump at times, man, I'm not saying I don't hate everything the guy does, but I can tell you that was one of the, man, if I was his advisor, I'd be like, dude, stop. Just stop. I might even say it in the room. He'd probably yell at me and fire me, but I'd be like, dude, don't do that. Stop taping. We're not doing this in the middle. I'm telling you, man, I would be a badass advisor. I would, you know, remember Jonah Hill in Moneyball where he just goes like this? That'd be me. I'd be in the room like, stop. Just stop. Dude, stop. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm Jonah Hill only really loud because Jonah Hill was really great at evaluation, right? So I'm the Jonah Hill Moneyball evaluator, 100%. Yep. Because we're going to build a roster of good films regardless of whatever it is. If I can make the movie cheap, then we're going to make the movie cheap. Last one's Greenland 2. And I'm going to talk, and then we're going to just dive off of that because we're going to talk about how the world's coming to an end. Just trust me. I'll do it quickly. I won't say it.
End
Here we
of
go.
The world as we know it in Greenland 2.
Nope, here it is.
You can follow the remnants of humanity.
Hold on.
Struggle to survive.
There's gotta be another way.
You got this.
Can I
In
just stop
search
real
of
quickly?
a new home across a devastated land.
In a second, it's coming.
Tickets-
Okay, so first of all, just quickly, Gerard Butler, I actually like. But Gerard Butler, you got to get back in the gym. You look really flabby. He doesn't look good. He looks like a guy. I think we're in the same range of age. I'm in 10 times better, 100 times better shape than Gerard Butler. He was ripped in 300, but what's going on? It's like he's just given up. Come on, dude. Gerard, if you're in LA, you can work out with me. Okay, I will hook you up. We'll go. I got a great gym. You and I will bust, and we'll get you back into 300 shape. I will do that for you, Gerard, for free, because I'm a big fan of Reign of Fire, because I believe that dragons were real. And we'll talk about that during the workout. But Gerard Butler, you can call my people, which means DM me on Twitter, and I'll hook you up at the gym. We will get you ripped more than 300. We'll do 600 rip-thon. I mean, how can you get more? He looked great. It was one of the best bodies ever that I ever have seen in a film.
They're available now on Fandango.
Okay,
and
come
here's
on.
an exclusive
Here we
look
go.
at the film.
5 years since the end of the world. Everybody says so.
Okay, did you see Greenland? Not a great film. But the plot is this, that Greenland is the place where you need to be when the meteors start hitting and all hell breaks loose because of Planet X. And you now have to find shelter underground in Greenland. Now, let me tell you what is really interesting. What has Trump been talking about needing? We talked about this 100 times before. Greenland. Why is he so preoccupied with Greenland? Why is he so fascinated with that? Why is he so consumed with Greenland? What are they showing us? Seriously, you gotta think bigger picture. You gotta think that Hollywood's showing us stuff and Trump's telling you stuff. 100%.
This is a new normal. But our bunker's holding on. Doing the best we can. I know it's a little late, but
So at the end of the movie, they're in the bunker and everything has been destroyed outside.
Happy belated Valentine's Day.
I love it.
We should discuss our contingency plans.
Every time I see Lionsgate and ST, whoa, that's bad. That's a bad combination. Lionsgate and STX, like, oof. Talk about non-cinematically erect.
we can't stay here, Ellie. There's no life from here.
The crater. Do you believe it's real?
They say that it could be humanity's last chance, but it is impossible to get you.
I promise you. I'm gonna get you to that crater.
Okay, so I'm going to pause here because I know we're going to get out into the world and we're going to see all this stuff. They're coming out for the first time after the calamity hits. It's another one of these end of the world things. But let me tell you something. That as you watch Greenland, and when I watched the first one, I wasn't thinking much about the way I do now. Because what happened is, during COVID, we all know that we were fed a bunch of bullshit. And once you learn that someone has lied to you, you all of a sudden start to say, wait a second, if you lied about this, what about that and this? So you start to rip at the thread. You start to go, let me just start pulling here and here. And that's what I've done over the past 5 years or so. Once COVID hit, I said, this is really some dark shit. Okay, not COVID. The reaction. And I said, man, I don't think the government has our best interest in mind. Like I used to think, yeah, generally they do. I think we're good. But then you saw, no, okay, the stuff that was enforced, the stuff that was forced upon people, all of that, man, huge no in my book. Everything that you saw during that time. I don't want to have you come in right now and tell me, but all these people died. Don't do that. Don't do that shit. You were lied to. You were 100% lied to, and a lot of stuff was thrust upon you, and you either bought it or you didn't. I never bought it. So once, we're putting that to bed. Once you realize that, then you start to say, hold on, what else is available for me to look at that I can say, is this real? And man, let me tell you something. Once you start going down those rabbit holes, you start to go, holy shit, how many lies have we been told in our lives? I tell you, man, I think indoctrination is everywhere, right? I think we all know that. We get indoctrinated since the time we were born. This is the way you do things. This is the way, right? Everything, the whole process is to stop you from asking questions. So when I hear Trump talk about Greenland, we need to get Greenland. And I see a movie about how Greenland is the safest place to be during this end of the world scenario. It's obvious you put the two things together. You're going to say it's a Hollywood movie. How many Hollywood movies are predictive programming? They show you a little bit of what is coming. Disclosure. Okay? I'm here to tell you that I would not be at all surprised if that's exactly what this whole fascination with Greenland is all about. Now, I know you're saying it's a movie. I get it. I'm just telling you guys. You need to be awake. You need to just say to yourself, I'm not going to always believe what they tell me, because it gets you in a place where you're doing things that you don't want to do. We're seeing things across the globe implemented that we're like, we didn't ask for this. The AI control. I mean, look at Mission Impossible, the whole thing, right? Who's the enemy? AI, the last two films. Because they're building a, quote, digital prison. Once they get the credit score and the digital ID all put together, you're going to get a China situation. You've heard great things about China, right? Okay, living in communism, where if you don't have enough social credit, you can't leave your apartment block. Well, that's the way to live. So you don't think that's happening? Of course it is, guys. Look into it. This is not that channel. I'm just telling you I want to talk about that and have you go explore. Okay? There's whole channels for that I can recommend. But I always say this. I believe that we live in the village. M. Night Shyamalan's The Village. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm saying. We have boundaries, we have things, and this is where we are. But if you hop the fence, watch out. It's not the same. There's a lot more out there. Truman Show-esque. Right? Kind of a hybrid of Truman Show and The Village. I believe that's true. I can't prove it. I'll never know until we go on to the next level. And all I ask from you is if you are watching MMT, you like the content, I don't care about anything other than you coming up to me in the afterlife and saying, Weber, you were right. We did live in the village. If we just would have climbed the fence. Then I'll be like, no, I told you. Why weren't you listening to me? That's all I want. All I ever want in life, honestly, is to be right. And the weird thing is I'm right like so much that it's like expected. So I feel kind of like this big burden of always having it, but I'm right. Because it's always grounded stuff that I'm talking about. And seeing a few steps ahead of a lot of people. You know, you go back to our top story here tonight, Marty Supreme, putting up the best PTA. I called it on Thursday. You can see it. Not even just the sales. I could tell by the zeitgeist. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was excited. When I went to see it opening night, it was slammed at like 2 p.m. Sellouts. I haven't seen that at Burbank in forever. So you just have to look. You know, life is about just looking. Look around and you start to see stuff that you never imagined you would. You know, you go back to some of the stuff I've shown you on the FAA weather cams, right? That's right outside our window. Just quickly on that, and then I'll go to the comment blast closeout. I was talking to someone today when we were playing volleyball that I noticed up in the sky, we are getting chemtrailed to fucking back, right? You can see it. Go wherever you live, you've seen planes going across or drones. I don't know what they are. Sometimes drones, sometimes probably someone unloading a payload. It is literally like a smoke screen. Now, let me explain. I'm going to make this very simple, that I don't believe that it's actually them dumping chemicals on us. I do believe that that's probably some of that, but here's what I do believe. Don't tell me it's a regular plane. It's chemtrails. They're doing it on purpose. It's a smoke screen. It's a smoke screen. They know that something is here, and they are smoke screening the sky so you can't see it. And I'm going to be right on that too. When it happens, when you get disclosure day, remember who was right about that too. It's a smoke screen to block what is out there. I've already shown you some of it. It's there. It's dudes, it's there. I'm 100% right. I know I'm right. Like, I know. I cannot prove it, but I know I'm right. And I'm not crazy. Even though some of you are like, no, I'm telling you, man, I know I'm right. I am. And you guys are going to all, I think it very soon, in the next like 5-10 years, you're going to find out, damn it, Weber, how is this guy? Listen, here's what's going to happen. At the end of the day, whenever happens, they're going to say, this guy was so good. How was he not like big like that Hassan guy who has like no talent? Literally, what a boring, angry motherfucker. Listen, I can be angry, but I think I have fun. That guy with the shock collar dog, that guy. How is this guy like a thing? Like, it happens so often in society, right? You watch someone and you're like, how is this person a thing? Like, I don't even understand. And it happens more often than not. And I talk about that in the film space all the time. That I watch people and I go, did someone make them famous? Because there's no reason they should be. Right? I think if you watch me, listen, say what you want. But I've said this before. I've been on for an hour and 19 minutes. No one could do this. Not one person. I don't care who you throw. No one. Not one person. To bounce from as many things as I have and to literally have, I don't know, maybe one slip up. That's pretty good for an hour and 20 minutes. But here's the thing. It is what it is. I'm not going to, when I go to bed tonight, I'm not going to worry about more views, more likes, more subscribers. I mean, it's all cool. I love it. Thank you. And Steve, you rock, man. Honestly, I appreciate the super chat. Listen, I when I do this, I just do it because I enjoy doing it. And I want to expose you to the truth, to thinking for yourself, to bettering yourself. As we talked about earlier, losing weight, getting in shape. You have no idea what that means for the rest of your life. I'm playing volleyball down today at the beach with guys that are a lot younger than me. The only reason I can do that is because I bust my ass at the gym, and nobody, and I mean this, honest to God, nobody my age is in better shape. Nobody. Maybe one guy. Like, I'm talking entire world. I'm telling you guys, you got to trust me on this. I am in the top 1%, 0.1% of all dudes my age in shape. Not a contest. It's not. Because they don't work like I do. I have decent genes. I'm not going to lie to you. I was born kind of thin. But I was skinny fat guy in college. When I went to Ohio State, I got fat as hell. I would order pizzas at like midnight, and then I'd wash it back with a mellow yellow. When I went to Ohio State, I would sit in my, by the way, before I won the Emmy, before I won the Emmy, when I was at Ohio State, the Ohio State University, I would sit in my dorm room and I would order a big, like at least a 12-inch pizza from Gumby's Pizza at OSU. Yes, Gumby and Pokey. And I'd eat the entire thing and I'd wash it back with a mellow yellow. Do you know how many calories that is at 1 a.m? I don't know how I went to bed. I just drank a mellow yellow. It has so much caffeine. But that was my life. So I know what I'm talking about. I know that. Thank you, Steve. Again, awesome. And also, I know you haven't been around for a while. Listen, I appreciate any support you guys give the channel, whether it's a like, a super chat, a sub, whatever it is. It's cool. But again, I say this and I really do mean this. It's not why I do it. I don't wake up in the morning and check my YouTube studio or my X and say, look at all the views, right? I think on Thursday when we had Marty Supreme, I had 600 people watching live on Twitter, on X. That's great. That's awesome. But guess what? I would do the same show if I had 6. It's the truth. I haven't even looked. I don't look. I do StreamYard, right? StreamYard is a streaming service, gives me the graphics and all this stuff. I made the graphics, the Christmas graphics. But you see what I'm saying? So StreamYard shows me how many people are watching, but I don't want to know because I don't matter. It doesn't matter. When I started the channel, there's 2, my mom and someone else. I didn't care because all I want to do is do the show. In life, you doing it is the win. Do you understand that? It's not about how many people that you have that enjoy it. It's about, do you enjoy it? And then if people also enjoy it, it's a win-win. But if not, and you enjoy doing it, then go for it. You'll get better. Go back and look at our streams from very early on. I think they're still pretty decent, but they're not as good as I am now. I know how the show works. I got this, track off the top. I know how to weave this shit. I've done it so many times, so many hours, that this is so easy for me. It takes 0 work. I mean that. I really do. I know that I'm dead serious. I did no planning for this shit. I was on the way back from the beach in the car, and I'm like, what should we do tonight? Let's talk about Marty Supreme. Let's do the Housemaid. Let's do the trailers, and we'll talk about DEI. But I didn't have any bullet points, nothing, because it flows. You just have to be in the moment and what works now. Sometimes it's not always the best. I'm not going to lie. When sometimes I go too hard on something or someone, like, 3 strands of hair at the wrap. I mean, I kind of feel bad for the guy. He has 3 strands of hair, like my Russian teacher in high school. It's not fair when you're sweeping across 3 hairs of 3 hairs across your forehead and pretending you have a full head of hair. Like, at some point you have to say I'm bald. Do you understand? At some point you have to own the baldness. And listen, this is a guy who, by the way, I still have hair, but it's not like it's as thick as it used to be. But here's the deal. 3 strands of hair rap guy is pulling his 3 strands of hair across his head. He's a left-wing loser, 100% left-wing loser, and I will drag that motherfucker to the end of time because he decided to make a thing out of me. Well, guess what, big boy, Mr. 3 fucking strands of hair? I'm the fucking real deal. You're a nobody who no one will ever remember in the sands of time. Never. You will never matter to anyone. You have nothing, okay? Just know that. You're a nobody. And I am not that. And that's why you don't like what you watch. But I got news for you. I don't have 3 strands of hair dragging across my head. Like my Russian teacher, it would flop off and it looked like he's had a ponytail. Do not do that 3 strands of hair. Cut it off. Own the fact you're bald. Own the fact that you're a nobody. And just move on with your life. Don't worry about me, because let me tell you something. Other than me dragging you on the stream, I don't worry about you. End of discussion. It's time for the Comment Blast closeout. You know what? Sid, because here's the thing. Sid, yes, I'm being mean, but let me explain something to you. He asked for it. If you're going to step into my world like your boy Empire, whoever Empire Box Office is, the bitch that runs that account, whether it's a guy or a girl, you are talk about a nobody. Imagine not having the fortitude in life to show the world who you are because you want to hide behind something because you are essentially nothing. And you're going to try to drag me, the guy who's done shit in his life, the guy who's the real fucking deal, the guy who if I rip off my shirt, I'm going to have a 6-pack. You want me to play that game? I don't think so. You don't want to play that game. So do not ever come into my world because I'm the real fucking deal. I'm not like one of you people, not you guys, the other people. These people who don't have anything. They are quite literally nothing, right? Go back to, God, I love wallflowers, right? Perks of Wallflower. Go back and he's like, nothing. Right? What is it? Oh, it's so, God, I love Perks of a Wallflower. All right, let's go and but here's the thing is, right, is yes, it's mean, but here's the deal, is that you asked for it. I didn't just like randomly. Now, listen, this is a track I like from Estiva called KFIL. Okay, we're out of here on this Sunday. I'll have some Christmas music on Thursday, I promise, but I try to get as much club tracks on here and stuff. Because I used to be a club DJ. You guys know that, right? I used to be DJ web slinger in Columbus, Ohio. So like playing stuff like this and to a huge crowd at a rave was super awesome. Thank you, Megas Viper. I don't know what we're talking about here. Let me go back to the beginning. Some of you who are there. I'll make sure I didn't miss any super chats here. Steve is really good. This is Steve, like I said. Thank you, Steve, again. Not rushing out to see Avatar. If you want to see Avatar, go for it. I'm just telling you, I'm not going to see it. Like, I know you guys thought that I would, but I didn't. I haven't. I don't want to. So, I'm a man of my word. I went to see Housemaid. I'm going to see this week. Let me just talk about quickly the MMT schedule for this week. Tomorrow night, the mystery movie, the AMC Screen Unseen, I believe is Primate, a horror film. It's Scream Unseen. So, here's the deal. I really should have Christmas music on, my bad on that. But here's the deal, is that I'm going to have probably a reaction, not live. I'll probably tape something for the first time because I don't really want to go live tomorrow. A quick reaction to Primate. If I don't even do that, I probably will just do it on Thursday, Christmas night. We're going to have Anaconda, Primate, and Lee. So it's 3. A triple header of evaluations. So be ready for that on Christmas night, and I'll get some Christmas music. We'll listen to It's Christmas Time. I'm not going to do the rap like I did last year. It was a total fail. By the way, can I have some love for the graphics? Can I have some love? Do you see the Santa in the middle of the MMT? I made that. Like, I don't have a graphics person. Do you guys understand that? I'm wearing all the Santa hats, including, look here. Do you see the Santa hat I have on in the photo in the corner, right? The logo. Do you understand how much work this takes to put together? It's like 5 minutes, but I'm just saying that you should be impressed that my graphic skills are so accomplished. I've never heard of Gumby's Pizza, but Gumby's was a local joint. It was not like a chain. It was just, they had like a $5 special. I kid you not, 12-inch pizza plus a mellow yellow for $5, which is now like 12. But still, that's not bad and delivered. The crops thing is outdated, 100%. Sorry I didn't get to this Fuentes earlier. I apologize. Nobody watched it, 100%. When I was doing the news, people were like, forget it. Nobody cares anymore. I used to do TV news all over the country. Orlando, Boston, Charlotte, Milwaukee, Kennewick, Washington was my first market. So I went all over the United States, and I got tired of moving around. I finally moved out to LA, got a job at Channel 2, and they did not... Listen, when I was working at Channel 2, which is right here, Channel 2 and 9, do you understand what I do? You guys see what I do. I am not built for a teleprompter kind of show, and that's exactly what that is. I'm built to, like, say shit that you're like, what? Like, it's almost like a stand-up routine. So it wasn't a great fit. I was very good at doing a morning show because what I would have done, here's the thing is I would never make it through COVID. If I had worked at a TV station during COVID, I would have during the, I'm just telling you right now, I would have gone on there and I would have said, this would have been me. I would have been on there and I'd say, you know what? This whole thing's too much. Why are we talking about death so much? And then people will be like, oh, here's another Matt fax track. And then we're out of here as soon as this is over. Here's the deal. Is that I can't stop myself. If I feel like I have to say something, I'm going to say it. Look at me. Just honestly, tell me, how many other people in this space would say the stuff I say about DEI? No one. Not one. I mean, yeah, Gore and the anti-wokers, but I'm saying name another film critic. Do you think Stuckman would? Do you think Jeremy Johns would? That's not their thing. Well, I'm sorry. I'm doing both. I'm doing two things. I'm doing the review and I'm doing DEI. Once you try that, they can't do it. What I can do is pivot off of 1,000 subjects and hammer them. I can go bang, bang, bang. I'm not going to lie. My processing power is very, very high. You have to have high processing to do this. I am pushing all the buttons. This is me. There's no one helping me tonight. Breakdown. Okay? I make the art. I do the show. And I hit the comments. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it is what it is. All right, guys. I'm going to get ready to roll out of here. I'm going to see you back here on Thursday night. Tomorrow, I might post a video that'll be just like this. I'll be sitting here and I'll do like a 5-minute reaction to Primate, which is the new horror film from Universal. I'm sorry, make that Paramount. That is going to be tomorrow night, The Scream Unseen. If you want to see a movie for like $7, I want to say. It's the movie where the chimpanzee runs wild at a resort and kills people. It's going to basically like Gordy from Nope. Only a whole movie of Gordy. That's the idea, the genesis of this whole thing, right? So we'll talk about that. I'll probably post a video. If I don't, we'll just talk about it Thursday. I mean, I don't even care anymore. Go support Marty Supreme on Christmas Day. It is one of the best films of the year, as we have Mr. Supreme right here. And I hope that it does really well at the Oscars. It deserves to win more Oscars, certainly than Anora, but also One Battle, the film it's up against. It's better than Sinners. It's better than One Battle. Marty Supreme in a head-to-head is the best of those three films because those are the films that have a really good shot of winning. So Marty Supreme has no business not having a really good look at Best Picture, Best Director, Best Everything. Don't remind me, Mount Fillmore, we're dead. When January comes, I don't even know what we're going to do. Probably one night a week, and I'll just be like, there's nothing. We'll probably do more talking about, like, we'll do more MMT Gets Freaky because that's... Hold on, do I still have that here? Hold on. I think I still have the graphic for that. Give me a second. I have it here somewhere. Do I have it? Yes, I do. Look, see? Look, if I want to switch, I can just go to this. See? I made this. This is like the darker version. This is MMT Gets Freaky up in the corner. But then tonight, of course, it's Christmas. Get out and have yourself an awesome Christmas. Enjoy. I'm going to chill. It's going to rain here in LA. So maybe if I feel motivated, I'll do a stream Christmas Eve. But more than likely Christmas night for sure. It's Thursday. It's our regular time. So other than that, be safe. Enjoy yourself. Have fun out there. Get with your family, whoever you have around. And if you don't have somebody, just know something. It's okay. Honestly, it's okay. I've been in places where I had nobody. Okay? And you just need to really be comfortable with being with yourself. And I think that's one thing that I am, and I think you see it here. I'm by myself. I don't have anyone to lean on. And I think in life, some people always feel like they have to have someone around. It's okay. If you want to, that's okay. Go for it. But for me, I'm okay with just chilling and vibing and just thinking and sometimes doom scrolling. But you know what I mean? It's okay. Don't freak out. It's the holidays. I'm alone. I am too. A lot of people are. It's cool. You're going to make it through. The New Year's around the corner. And just make me a promise. You're going to get out there and work at getting in shape. I'm just going to leave it like that because it will help you so much if you guys just take that step of getting to where you feel really confident about your physicality, it's going to carry over to everything. I couldn't even do the stream I do without that. I'm dead serious. Not just because tonight's kit Liverpool, why green and red. I mean, come on. But the reason these player kits fit the way they do is because I go to the gym. Do you think this thing would fit me like if I had a gigantic belly? No, this is a slim fit. This is just because I go and I'm going to be at the gym 4 or 5 days this week. I mean, with Christmas, maybe 4, but whatever. Do that. Invest in yourself. Always invest in yourself. That is my advice before I see you back here on Thursday night. Peace out, live from LA. Thanks for being here. MMT is out.